We are the New York Knicks. We are the New York Knicks. We are the New York Knicks. Say go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go.
Let's run the music back. Let's run it back. All right, here we go. As we always say on this show, it wasn't pretty, but it was gritty. Knicks head down to Disney World to take on the Orlando Magic, man. And boy, oh boy, was this one a disaster to start off, man. Knicks could only muster 40 points in the first half. They were bricking away. Lackluster effort. Looks like they were sleeping. Really looked like they went to Disney World first before they took to the court. Maybe the weather was nice down in Orlando. But nevertheless, in the second half, things would stabilize a little bit for the orange and blue. He had Julius Randle, who had a pretty consistent night. 22 points, 14 boards. And then in the fourth quarter, Captain Clutch, Jalen Brunson started to get activated. R.J. Barrett, who had a nightmare first half, had a couple of nice plays in the fourth. He had Jericho Sims getting activated there. And after 9 lead changes, the Knicks were able to execute down the stretch and get a W, man. 102-98. The Knicks beat the Magic and continue on this road trip. 102-98, man. KFTV post-game live presented by Manscaped. CP the Fanchise JD Sports Talk on the ones and twos. Salute to everyone in the chat, man. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Wow, what a turn of events, man. I felt like going to sleep on this game. It was so damn boring in the first half. Both teams bricking away. RJ was an absolute nightmare, man. I had to close my eyes every time, watching him get cooked by Franz Wagner, watching him brick away. I thought he was still sick. It was rough, man. It was absolutely brutal. But as I said, this thing got interesting in the fourth with the Knicks coming in, and RJ got activated. 5 points in the fourth for him. Found Jericho Sims for a nice alley-oop, and I thought Sims had some impactful minutes in the fourth quarter. 6 points for Jericho Sims. And then when things get close, man, you give it a Captain Clutch and you get out of the way. 10 points for Jalen Brunson in that fourth quarter. Brunson had some trouble with Fultz all night. Fultz was cooking him, but give Brunson credit because on the offensive end, he was getting busy himself. As I said, good job by Jericho Sims. 6 points in the fourth by Sims. Yeah, Julius hit a big three-pointer near the end of that game. Also got some clutch free throws. And how about late game execution by this team and by the coach? Knicks going 6 for 6 from the free throw line to close this thing out. They had a 3-point lead with seconds to go. They actually fouled the Magic and put them to the line. So we had some adjustments there by the coach, learning from previous mistakes. And then the biggest one, with Paolo Banchero at the line, shooting 2, with the Knicks up by 3 points, with 3 seconds to go. Tibbs opts to sub in Jericho Sims and Isaiah Hartenstein, along with Julius Randle, to put a big lineup out there, trying to absolutely avoid another meltdown like they had against Luka Doncic in Dallas. And Julius Randle comes up with the rebound. That was all she wrote, man. Take the win. This is a tough Orlando team. You can't sleep on them. You take the win, and the Knicks now have 30 wins on the campaign. How you feeling, bro?
Feeling great. This was a quality win. You talk about, how the Magic are, pretty decent team. Well, listen, CP, don't we hear about how much great they're doing, right? Isn't that what we hear about?
Yeah.
How much great talent they have, and talent this and talent that, and all these high draft picks. So now that we beat them, does that just not matter anymore? This team is 17-13 in their last 30 games, and they have 22 wins.
Yeah.
So quietly, CP, after only having 5 wins in like their first 25 games, this team has 17 wins in their last 30. And going into tonight, even with that tough start, they were 500 at home. Like this team at home has been tough throughout the season.
Yeah.
So when you talk about those two things in terms of how they've turned it around, because now all that talent, they're starting to build some chemistry here. Jonathan Isaac is back. You saw Markelle Fultz is starting to get it together, right? And you couple all that with the fact that this is a young, athletic team that's very fast. They have some length with Isaac and both Wagners, Banchero, even Markelle Fultz at the one. He's 6'4", 6'5". This is a good win.
Yeah.
It's a good win. Every road win in an 82-game season is a very good win, because we know if they would have lost, it would have been deemed as a tough loss. So very good win. I believe, CP, this is the last game before the deadline. Is that correct?
This is the last game before the deadline, sir.
So this is now a 2-game win streak going into the deadline. You have some momentum. I talked about in last night's weekly show how I felt it was very important to go into the trade deadline on a positive note, because now you're going to negotiate and you don't feel that much pressure to want to have to force something if you don't have to. If you don't have to force it, don't do it. If you want to improve the team, you can go ahead and do it. You're feeling well. The team has been playing tough. And at the end of the day, CP, they got tested tonight. I mean, they were down 8 at one point. It didn't take until the fourth quarter, at the beginning of the fourth quarter, for them to have their first lead since they were up 2-0.
That's right.
So, sometimes you go into a game and you feel like, like Brunson said in the post game, you feel like, oh, maybe you're taking them too lightly. But then when the game happens, obstacles happen. When the game happens, adversity comes about. The Knicks faced a little bit of adversity tonight because, quite frankly, they were down for most of the game. And you did not know how they were going to react to close the game. You did not know, was fatigue going to be a factor. You saw RJ's start of the game. Oof. So, I was already thinking, yep, RJ's not finishing the game, because through 3 quarters,
right,
he was like 2 of 11 or something. So I was already looking into the fourth quarter, and I was saying to myself, here we go. Here we go. I'm going to have to talk about RJ getting benched in the whole fourth. I was already thinking about the future, and the Knicks team did not allow that to happen. They fought back, and there's a lot of nuggets in this game, CP, when you talk about, we got to give credit to the coach, making some adjustments, some substitutions, and some decisions late. And even the team, man, with Jalen Brunson continuing to show you, as I've been saying, CP, if we can hit free throws, I'm not actually too scared of being in close games, because you have somebody. Yes, he may not be Devin Booker. He may not be some of these elite closers around the NBA, but he's a tier right next to them.
Yeah.
And statistically, he might be better than some of these guys that are some superstars around the NBA in terms of late fourth quarter situations.
Yeah, true story, man. He was great. Once again, he was great. 10 points in that fourth quarter, and we needed it because there was 9 lead changes in the fourth alone. And so I thought it was a great job by Brunson and Randall, especially Randall late. Randall didn't get in until about 4 minutes left in the fourth. And so, Tibbs left Obi out there with those guys. Great job by him. And, Randall was able to get a little bit of a breather and then come in and close out on both ends. And you had the Randall and Banchero matchup. That was my matchup going into this. Randall getting the best of him. Banchero finishing with 16 points and 6 of 15, shooting 8 rebounds, 5 assists. Randall with 22 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists, 4-10 from downtown, 7 of 15 from the field overall. So I thought Julius had a solid night. 25 points for Brunson on 5 assists. A very efficient night for Brunson, 9 of 13. And as you mentioned, RJ, man, it was brutal watching RJ in this game. It was a struggle. 5 of 16 from the field, 15 points. And on the flip side, it just seems like Orlando was going right at him every single possession he was in the game. I took Franz with more than 18.5 points tonight because I figured RJ was guarding him. Now, I just missed that number. He finished with 18. But I've been putting my money on anybody RJ's guarding these days because the defense has just been dreadful. And I don't know if it's, he's rocking the sleeve on the right leg. I don't know if that's the issue. He just looks like he's dragging out there. But nevertheless, fourth quarter, he knocks down an elbow three. He gets a little floater going. He gets Sims in the alley-oop.
Talk about it.
And Tibbs. And as you said, because while he was struggling, I'm like, yeah, he's not closing tonight. That's what I was saying. This in the first half. I'm like, yeah, I don't know if we could close with him tonight because he's been brutal. But I don't know if that early run in the fourth got him some time, or the fact that he's at home in front of his hometown people. Maybe that was part of it too. Tibbs opted to keep him in there, and look, he did what he had to do in the fourth quarter, and it certainly helped. It certainly helped. But as you said, this Orlando team, this is a tough matchup, man. And we talked about it with Quentin Richardson. They are a big team. They have a lot of wingspan. I was worried about Fultz on Brunson. Fultz finishing with 21 points on 6 assists, 9 and 12 from the field, just shooting right over Brunson, doing anything that he wanted to do. Caught quickly a couple times. I thought Fultz was pretty impressive in this game. Yeah, Wendell Carter Jr. with 13 points. Franz being Franz, he's been a good player over his first 2 years in his first 2 seasons. And then, funnily enough, on the show with Quentin Richardson, when we were talking about the battle of the benches, he was like, "Watch out for Mo Wagner. Watch out for Mo Wagner." And nevertheless, Mo Wagner with 9 straight Magic points in the third quarter, acting up. He was talking trash. Like, as Q said, he's a trash talker. He's one of those guys that you just want to smack if you're playing against him, but you love playing with him. Mo Wagner was getting activated in the third quarter. He finished with 13 points. So, there was a lot of activity on that team. Jonathan Isaac, as you said, coming back, and Bol got into the action. Jamal Mosley going with 10 players. But, Knicks made the right adjustments near the end and got the right stops and made the right plays, man. 102 to 98. Can't be mad at it, man. Can't be mad at it. I got to shout out the Rhyme Animal Chuck D, JD, a $100 super chat. He says, "Let's go. A win is a win. This Magic squad is coming. We 8 wins away from KG 38 wins. I'm still at Staples area ready to give this building back to those trash teams that beat us last week. The league envies us. I'm buying out the boss. Salutes, Knicks Nation, CP Alex JD." A $100 super chat from the OG. And just remember, people, tonight, his documentary, episode 2 of his documentary, Fight the Power, How Hip Hop Changed the World, is on PBS. You could also catch it on Amazon Prime Video. So make sure you catch that. And salute to the Rhyme Animal, man. Salute to the Rhyme Animal, JD.
Well, I mean, even Chuck D realizes that this is a up-and-coming team.
Yeah.
Chuck D's feeling generous tonight. I'm sure he's hyped and excited. And, you talk about it, this Magic team going into tonight, this is their first game on a 3-game homestand. They're playing the Denver Nuggets Miami next, but they're coming off a 4-game road trip where they've faced the Philadelphia 76ers twice, the Minnesota Timberwolves, and Charlotte Hornets, and they won 3 of those 4 games. So when you come off a road trip like that, you win 3 out of 4, and you're coming home, you're feeling good about yourself. So this is, in terms of Magic post game, they probably think this is a disappointed loss for them to start their homestand. So again, it's another situation where you had the Knicks come in, because sometimes you play a team, CP, and in the NBA season, there's different advantages and disadvantages, right? Like sometimes you could come in and play a team that's not as good as you, but they may come off a 2-day rest, or they may have a certain situation going into the game that it has an advantage over you. And people don't realize, they don't pick up on the little things. So it was a very good win tonight. And, when you talked about RJ, this is the thing about RJ, CP, that's so right now, so erratic, is we've seen it a lot now. This is another trend this season that's starting to pick up, where he has a tough start, but do you bail on him in key situations? Because you saw it against the Celtics. You've seen it many times. You saw it tonight. He steps up his game in the fourth quarter in key situations. Like, in other words, he can have a tough game, but he finds a way to contribute. Not all the time, but recently he has started to do that. So I don't know that that's a good problem, because you're putting the coach actually in a tough situation
Tough spot.
in terms of rhythm, in terms of feeling the game. Because if you look at that fourth quarter, if he didn't contribute early in the fourth, he would have been benched.
Yep.
So, Grimes played 39 seconds in the fourth quarter tonight.
Yeah. Yep.
So give credit to RJ. 3 of 5, made 2 threes in the fourth, had 8 points. He had a steal. Give him credit on having the ability to bounce back. That's a great quality, CP. However, you cannot continue to start games this way. You can have the first quarter. Everybody's human. But you can't have these 2-3 quarter stretches like this. He has to figure out a way. And I don't care that he was sick. I'm done with that. I'm done with the sickness and this and that. I'm done with that. What have I been saying during this period that everyone's been saying, well, we don't have Mitch? And my MO has been find a way. And they've been finding a way to win games.
Mm-hmm.
They've been finding a way to stay in games without Mitch. I mean, you continue to see Mitch's value, CP. When Hartenstein was in the game against Wagner, they were putting him and RJ on screens.
Yeah.
In possession after possession, one possession, RJ's lost. The next possession, Hartenstein doesn't know if he should contest a shot or stay back, because those are two weaknesses defensively, right? So Mitch continues to show his true value every single game, but guess what? The Knicks are finding a way to win. And that's what RJ has to do. I understand you may be having some nagging injuries. I understand you may be sick. I understand all that. But just like in the same game that you're sick, you bounce back in the fourth, guess what? Find a way to start a little bit better in the first, second, and third quarter.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is, man. That's the way it is. And I'm hoping that he can figure it out. I don't know if it's that he needs to lose a little bit of weight. I don't know, CP. There were some interesting stats I saw today on Twitter in terms of the dynamic of him, Randall, and Brunson on the court at the same time. Mm-hmm. It seems like Barrett is playing better with one or the other, not with all three on the court at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting analytical perspective. But none of these three guys are going anywhere this year, so they have to find a way to gain more chemistry and play better together.
Yeah, no question about it, man. And welcome to Maurice Blanding, who just subscribed to the Fanchise channel membership. So welcome to the squad, Maurice Blanding. Definitely appreciate it. With RJ, it's got to start with the defense, man. I could live with the inconsistencies in the shooting, because if he's knocking down timely shots, I'll be okay with it. And you have Brunson, you have Randall, and you have IQ with 18 points tonight, who can cover at times. But the defense has been the worst that it's been in his 4 years career. Every screen, he's getting blown up. He's 2 steps behind. He's trailing. He's dragging the leg. Like, it's just bad, bro. Like, it's just bad. Every single screen, he's getting blown up. Every time. Literally every time.
Feet behind the guy.
Constantly. Now, he did blow up a backdoor play to Boncaro late in the game. That was nice. Because, that's his weakness. He did blow up the backdoor play. I was glad to see it. But, man, bro. Yeah.
And you're going to continue to see that, CP, as I mentioned, that, now going into the second half after the All-Star break, a lot of these games are now going to start to have more meaning. You're going to start to see a little bit more of strategy basketball in terms of teams that want to, start to rack up some regular season wins. They're going to start to game plan more in these games and start to look at scouting reports and look at ways that they can take advantage. And you saw it tonight. Like, you saw the Magic had a clear plan of, put RJ through screens, cut on RJ, attack him every single possession. Mm-hmm. If Hartenstein's on the floor with RJ, let's put both of them in action. One of those two is going to get lost and is going to allow us to get an open shot somewhere on the court. Like, you're going to start to see that. And you mentioned year 4, and this is the worst year defensively. It's also the worst year to be the worst year of your defense, because there's a case that this is actually the best Knicks roster since he's been here. So this is the year that you want to see, especially when you bringing in Brunson, who's already a guy that you're trying to hide.
Right.
You can't have too many weaknesses in the starting lineup. I mean, you can't expect Mitch to be, Ben Wallace of the Detroit Pistons. You know what I mean? You need to, he needs to realize my position is at a premium. And I know we talk about we need a wing. Guess what? He's our wing right now. He's going to be on wing if we don't make a move.
Right. But this is
he's
why.
He's going to be that 3 guy. So,
but this is why I was starting to come around to an OG trade. Because it's like as the season progresses and you're watching RJ at the wing, it's been bad. And you already got Brunson, who's a liability. Randall is hit or miss. That's too many holes in your starting lineup. That's 2 holes and a questionable. If you're playing spades, it's a tough one.
You can make the KCP that his role going into the second half in the playoffs is more important to this team defensively than it is offensively. Yeah, I understand in terms of the individual development of this player who's 22 years old. You want to see the playmaking ability. Like you mentioned, you saw a key in the fourth quarter where he had that hezzy step in the paint, threw the nice alley-oop to Jericho Sims. You want to see more of that. However, when you look at the way that Tibbs is coaching the team, not the way that I would do it, but you look at the way that Tibbs is coaching this team, he has 2 other guys he can rely on offensively. He has a sharpshooter in Grimes. RJ may have to start to think more defensively going into the stretch run because, again, if we don't make a move for a wing, he is our wing.
Yep.
And he is going to be the guy that's going to have to defend some of these, top elite wings that we're going to face in the playoffs, in the stretch run to get a higher seed. I mean, tonight, now we're in the 6th seed, and, a couple teams in the East lost tonight. The Hawks lost to the Pelicans tonight. The Nets lost to the Suns tonight, and now the only other Eastern Conference team that's in play right now is the Chicago Bulls, who are 1 minute away from losing again. So, tonight's a great night for the Knicks in terms of other teams in the Eastern Conference took a loss in the loss column, and you're the only team in the Eastern Conference that took a win. So this is going to be interesting. But great finish by RJ. But that's why I keep telling you with Jalen Brunson, man, like he's going to give us a shot to win the game. And how about Jericho Sims late in the game, CP? You saw the possession when Franz Wagner came off the screen to shoot the 3 and he missed. Yeah. Again, you mentioned, right? They put RJ through a screen. RJ was late. Sims, it was very important that Sims was in the game because if it would have been Hartenstein, and I think if Hartenstein's in the game in that possession, Wagner gets a much better look. And he probably makes that bucket. Yeah. Sims being faster, Sims being more athletic, picked up that play and was able to contest the 3. We talk about the difference between the Batum 3 and now this 3. It's all about spacing. It's all about awareness. Sims is the closest thing to Mitch we have over Hartenstein defensively. Give credit to Tibbs for leaving Sims in the game. Give credit to Sims for picking up that and being able to contest the 3. Another possession with Sims as well on Banchero. Banchero hit him with a few fakes. Yeah. Sims did not fall for the fakes, and Sims is a guy that falls for fakes, and that was on the scouting report. So give Sims a lot of credit. Few key possessions tonight, he was able to deliver for the Knicks.
Shout out to Brightest Future in the chat. Said he just left the game. Sims played his butt off. Yeah, he did. Sims had a good 4th. Definitely had a good 4th. Shout out to King Matthews. King Matthews has just joined the Fanchise channel memberships, man. And if you guys want to call in on tonight's show, let us know your takes. If you guys were at the game, call us up and let us know. They were, 95% of the building was Knicks fans. MSG South was representing heavy in there. So call us up, let us know your thoughts. And let's go to Cody Glock on the Discord to kick us off. Cody Glock, how you feeling? Cody Glock.
Yo, TG, my bad, bro.
Yo, what's up with your connection, man? You sound like are you on speakerphone? What's going on, man? You got to check your connection, bro.
It's crazy. I know, my bad. So you hit me better.
No.
You can't hear me better?
No, check the connections, bro. I'm gonna drop you off, man. It's all static. It's I don't know. Sound like you're on a singular wireless, the burner phone or something, man. Let's call us up 657-383-1509, or you could hit us up on the Knicks Fan TV Discord. Let's go to India, man. Check in with my guy Ashwin. My guy Ashwin always comes with the heat. Ashwin, what's going on, man? How you feeling?
Hi CB, hi JD, how you guys doing?
Good, man. How you feeling, bro?
Actually, I'm feeling great because for me, according to me, I think this was the best win of the season till date. Best win as in it was a very important win because the position we have against Miami and the other in our position in the East, right? So and thing about Orlando is we think they're tanking, but they have incredible players. They got incredible size, and they have beaten very strong teams.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
they have
They have
whooped
two.
Celtics.
They got 2 wins over Golden State, 3 wins over the Celtics, win over the
Exactly.
Mavs, win over the Suns. They've had some formidable wins for sure.
Exactly. So that's why I think it was very good win, one of the most important win of the season. Uh, CPU, I have called before, and I'm not a great fan of Randall. Okay, that's not because he played very bad last year, because there was a moment when Obi fell down and he didn't go to pick him up. That was the thing that put me off. But
Yeah.
when I heard this season that how Randall called over Mitch to practice with him in this off season, I warmed up to him and I started noticing how much he does for this team and what are the better options, better power forwards over Randall in currently in NBA, like Giannis, AD, Zion Williamson. Okay, so I don't think anyone other than them, like over all those top 4 or 5 power forwards, no one can provide as much as he can do for this team. Okay, he gets the turnovers and all because he's not a good handler. But the last rebound, I don't think any other power forwards can get that because of his strength and athleticism.
Okay.
That okay, so I don't think we should give Randall too much heat about the few turnovers that he gets because he does so much. And lastly, I want to talk about RJ. Okay,
Yeah.
the caller that called about 2-3 episodes ago saying that RJ shouldn't be given credit for the 30 points. He should never be allowed on KFTV again, ever. Okay. Okay, yes, he has taken some steps back defensively.
Yeah.
I think the best he can do is in this offseason, he should put time for his body like Randall did and get
Yeah,
in shape so that
maybe
he can
he
be
needs to get in
faster.
the gym with Randall.
That-
Maybe he needs to get in the gym with Randall for sure.
Exactly. He should get in a better shape and be faster so that he can do defensively. Because a player who wants to defend, because he always said that he wants to be a lockdown defender, they will eventually end up being a lockdown defender.
Okay.
So that's what
Appreciate
I
it,
want
man.
to say. And yes, Knicks are doing great, and let's keep this up.
Let's go. My guy Ashwin from India on the check-in. Shout out to Ashwin. Said he's coming around on Julius, man. He said he's now a member of the Julius Hive. I forgot to ask him about Quickly because he's been a guy who he usually gives Quickly that smoke. But Quickly had a good game tonight. Quickly's been playing well. I forgot to ask him about Quickly, man.
Are you coming around on Julius Randle?
When it's money time. I've been consistent.
Well, why you had that long pause after I asked you? You were like,
I was just listening and processing the question. That's all. I was just listening and processing the question.
It wasn't a difficult question, but
well, I enjoy these wins. He's playing great. It's nice. Game 56. It's nice.
Let me ask you this: does it concern you the little bit of the arguing with the refs? Does that concern you for the Knicks?
Not tonight,
playoffs?
because I think the refs were terrible tonight. And he needed to keep his cool. I didn't think he needed to push Jonathan Isaac. It was blatant that he was going to get a tech for that. But I thought there were certain points where these guys were getting fouled, whether it was Randall, Brunson, Quickly. They got on the arm a couple of times. I thought the refs missed a couple. So his frustration there is warranted. And you saw when he got the tech and Tibbs was motioning to Quickly and Grimes, he's like, yo, go get him. Go get him before he gets number 2 and he gets tossed. So, Tibbs understood the magnitude of the moment and Quickly and Grimes as well. So, look.
He had a clutch 3 or net.
He did.
I didn't like the when it was 86, it was about just over 4 minutes to go. He comes into the game, literally first possession, he gets the ball. And I don't know why. Like, why Brunson just coming off a bucket, we went to him, and I think that led to like a 0.1 of a second, and RJ tried, and there was a turnover.
Mm-hmm.
Like, those are the possessions where I'm like, we don't need that.
Mm-hmm.
Get it within rhythm, right? We don't need to force the action there. But yeah, man, I mean, he had a very good game. You can tell that Paolo Banchero, there's some comparisons to him and during the draft. So Paolo Banchero was definitely excited to play Julius Randle. So that's going to be a matchup to watch in the coming years because Randle takes these things personal, it seems.
Sure.
But yeah, it was he played well, but I just hope that these little tantrums, I hope that when it comes to crunch time in the playoffs, he's able to just control his emotions a little bit.
Yeah. Because
we're not going to be in a position to just give free throws away. I don't care if it's one free throw.
Right.
You can't give points away because it can get a team going.
Especially when we're a team that struggles to score as much as the Knicks did. I mean, take a look at how that first half went. Every point is going to count. You're going to need it, man. So I give him credit though, as he's said to the media. Johnny Bryant challenged him to be a better teammate, to have better body language, right? To hold himself accountable. And so I just thought it was funny because last year, obviously, between the thumbs down situation, the technical fouls, the issues that he got into it with the assistant coaches, all of the debates that we were having on this channel when Ashley was here, all of those things were brought up by his own team. His own team called him out for those same things that we saw that were so blatant and obvious in watching it. His own coach called him in the offseason and said, hey, is that who you would want to play with if you were on this team? Is that the teammate that you would want to play with if you were on the team?
And that told you, CP. I know people, and I don't like to do that, but I know there was some speculation on his personal life in terms of, the arrival of the kid and the baby and those, types of father responsibilities in the household. But the fact that, he goes out and gives credit to Johnny Bryant, the message, you saw Derrick Rose from training camp in terms of what he was saying in his first interview. Mm-hmm. It was clear to me that all the other stuff off the court, it could have played a percentage, but there was something going on in terms of him when he enters the arena that he needed to adjust mentally within himself.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that, and we talked about it. We were trying to figure it out. Like, what do you do in the off season?
Right.
Do you send a personal trainer with him? Do you talk about other, options? Like, do you need a sports psychologist? Like, what do you do? And it looks like Johnny Bryant took a lot of that responsibility in terms of getting him right. Bringing in Rick Brunson, I think, may have done some well because you could see Rick Brunson in the bench. He's very passionate.
Yeah.
And he seems to have some sort of connection with the players. I mean, obviously, he was a player himself and he played here at the Garden. Mm-hmm. So he has that understanding. So, like I continue to say it, CP, at the end of the day, we could talk about all the off-court stuff. I always believe a lot of this stuff also comes from the on-court responsibilities in a big market.
Pressure.
And can't you just take a deep breath when you are in the fourth quarter and it's under 4 minutes to go and you feel, man, I don't have to bring the ball up anymore.
Yeah.
Man, I don't have to take every single shot because I got another guy on the other side. His name is Jalen Brunson that can do that. I mean, you were talking about how, Fultz was cooking Brunson, but then Brunson was cooking Fultz too.
Yeah, yeah.
So that just alleviates so much pressure mentally. And that's why I say even the possessions that he gets the ball doesn't have to force it. And the last thing I want to say, CP, quickly is the caller was talking about the Magic, what type of team they are. We're seeing two different types of quote unquote tanking and development between the Orlando Magic and the Houston Rockets. Two teams with a bunch of talent, lottery picks, blah, blah, blah. But you see how when we talk about how tricky this thing is, CP, to develop and build a team. Mm-hmm. You have one team in Houston who's doing the same thing as the Magic, but they just don't have, it seems like they're not trending in the right direction, even as they continue to be in the lottery and they're getting high picks. Jalen Green, Jabari Smith. They have, with Porter Jr., they have a ton of talent. Josh Christopher. But it's not easy, man. You need to have the right coaching. Like, everything needs to go right. Even the Magic with all these, they lucked out on Bobo. They didn't draft Bobo. They didn't do, Bobo was a bonus. And even with that, this team has 22 wins right now. It takes, when you go down that road, you have to understand that it's not going to be overnight.
Yeah, true story, man. Oh. True story. I want to welcome.
Because I know you want to tank.
Hey, well. Let's see how this path goes. We'll see let's start with Thursday, man. See how we do on Thursday, man. Shout out to NYC Chimney Kings. Welcome to the Fanchise channel memberships, NYC Chimney Kings, and also welcome Kyle Martin Lewis to the Fanchise channel memberships, man. So shout out to Kyle. I want to shout out Javier Salgado, $5 super chat. He was at the game, sent us a picture on Twitter. He said he was at the game. The energy was crazy. Gritty win for the squad. Love seeing Julius coaching up RJ and others throughout the game. Salute. So that's another that's another one for Julius. Just being a coach out there and coaching guys up, whether it's Grimes, RJ, Quickly, so on. So good job by him. Call us up, 657-383-1509 if you want to get on and recap on the game. Let's go to the Discord. Slick Puller on the Discord. Go ahead and I'll mute your mic. Slick Puller on the Discord.
Yeah, I just finished getting out of the game right now.
Oh, you left the game?
I was at the game.
Okay. What's your name, my man?
Man, it was Slick Puller.
Oh, okay. All right, there you go. Let's go.
And it was lit over here, man. The Knicks fans were on fire. I got to take a pic with John Starks.
Nice.
I was exiting the game, casually went up to him. I'm like, Starks, took a pic. Super nice dude.
Okay.
Got to see Randall and IQ outside, Obi. It was pretty cool. But one thing I wanted to say is RJ got to step it up. He had Wendell, actually Wagner. Wagner was just taking it to the cup the entire game.
Yeah, he was killing. He was killing
RJ, and RJ was just letting him slide. I think coach should have taken him out a few possessions throughout the game on that. Mm-hmm. But overall, the Knicks fans were all over the stadium tonight. You got to come over to one of these games over here in Orlando, bro.
Yeah, they've been trying to get me there, man. One of those hub spots, man, for us. Orlando, Miami, LA. Yeah, we're gonna try to get out there, man. Do some more road games.
They're coming. I think again in March.
Okay.
They play against Miami, and then I think they play again day after against the Magic. So should come out here.
Sounds good.
Show some support.
Sounds good, man.
That's pretty much it, man.
Okay.
Keep it up, guys.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. All right, Slick Puller in the chat, in the Discord. I asked him what his name was. He said his name was Slick Puller. I said, all right, well, maybe he's on the run or something, maybe he's got warrants, Like I can't hate that. That's his name. We call him Slick. I don't know if I can trust anybody named Slick though. He inviting us to the game. I don't know, man. I'll let you know when I leave, though.
Yeah. Sheesh.
Oh, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. If you guys are new in the chat, leave us a hashtag new. We will shout you guys out. And also remember that this show is presented by Manscaped, fellas. Go out there and get the new Lawnmower 4.0, man. It is a game changer in ball trimmers, man. The #1 men's grooming tool below the waist, Lawnmower 4.0. It comes with sleek aerodynamic technology, skin-safe technology to cut down on those nicks. Not the good nicks that won tonight, those bad nicks that you want to avoid, especially, Valentine's Day is coming up. You want to make sure you take care of the family jewels, but with this skin-safe technology, you can do so in a safe manner. Now, it also comes with an LED light. Now, if you want to do it in the dark, whatever you're into, you could also get to those trouble spots. Like I said, no testimonials, so we don't need to know about it. Great battery life. It comes with a wireless charger or a wired charger. It has great battery life. It's also waterproof if you want to do it in the shower. Again, whatever you're into, that's up to you. But again, it's a great product. Good to use, safe to use. And yeah, man, go ahead and go to manscaped.com. Use promo code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. It's a great deal, and this is just one of many great products that Manscaped has on their website. They literally have something for everybody, anything that you need. Lotion, shampoo, conditioner, body wash, deodorant, cologne, you name it. Manscaped.com. Promo code KFTV for 20% off plus free shipping. Okay, to the phones we go. Vince from the BX. Vince, how you feeling?
Knicks fans, you are under the Vinfluence. You're going to call me the Vinfluence from this point on.
Okay.
Here's the storyline.
Yeah.
Number one, we could have won the Clippers game. I want to go back to that because me, my aunt, my mother's 85. I'm a Knicks fan my whole life.
Okay.
But here's the deal. Exactly what they did when they were down up 3 points, and I don't know if you guys talked about it earlier because I just got on, and they fouled. The moment you get past half court, that's the same thing they should have did when they played the Clippers. I yelled it out. There's the same play. Now, this is Tibbs. This is a professional team. This is automatic. You just know that. You don't let a chance to hit a three. As soon as they break the half court, break their nose off, break their arm. I don't care what you do. Take them down.
Mm-hmm.
You have to. You cannot give them the 3-point shot. So I wanted to step on that first. Number two, Obi, what's his name? Obi Toppin.
Obi Toppin influence. Yeah.
Again, I want to stop saying his name real hard because he's the softest guy on the Knicks team. I'm a Knicks fan and I support, but this guy has to go. Obi Toppin is the softest guy on the team. He's from Brooklyn. He's from the hood. Where what's going on here? They don't play like that. I'm from the Bronx. They play hard. You from New York? He do not rebound. He got to go, man. I don't even know how he's going to develop. He just got to go. So does R.J. Barrett. His feet, he moved just as slow as Fred Flintstone, man. I can't. I don't understand. I know. I'm 54. I could run past him right now with a jig left and right. His feet is so slow. He has to go. I don't care. He's 22. You can't change speed. You can change your age, but that speed, his feet are slow. Fred Flintstone runs faster than him. Now, I'm a Knicks fan. I love him. I'm just talking truth here. All right?
Yes.
Now, again, and Julius Randolph, down the stretch, and I love how he's playing, but tonight, to me, he was more like the playoff Randolph, which pisses me off. He, in crunch time of the game, for some reason, his brain fart, like, he loses the ball when it's pressure. I don't know what it is. He starts to panic. And Jalen Brunson, thank God he's here. He's got to save him. He played like playoff Randall to me. And then, I got Ciroc. Shout out to Ciroc. My man, he works for me at the job. He calls you in sometimes. And I tell him, I'm rooting for Randall. I really appreciate how he's playing. Mm-hmm. But I am waiting to see what he does in the playoffs. Yeah. Because he's done this before. And I'm not putting my hands up until I see him do better in the playoffs.
That's it.
And last but not least, I got two more things.
All right, rapid fire. Let's go.
We got Quickly, he's doing great. He's looking good, but I need some more moves. He needs that move. He don't have that go-to move. He needs to make a go-to move. He got to get that. Once he gets that, he'll get better. And last but not least, here's my trade proposal.
Let's hear it.
You take Mobamba for Hartenstein, Obi Toppin, even give up Evan Fournier and a first-round pick, and I would take Mo Bamba. And that's my call today. You are now under the
Hang up on
influence.
him.
Good night,
Let's
sir.
go.
Good night, sir.
Get him out of here.
We will call you no such thing.
Did he just say a first-round pick for Mo
Yeah.
Bamba?
We're going to call him nonsense. That's what we're going to call him. Let's get some tomatoes in the chat for this guy.
Bro, why people keep calling the show about Mo Bamba, bro? Is it the
what's
name?
this a joke?
Bamba.
Did somebody set him up for this? And then he said tack on a first-round pick and Obi from Mo Bamba. What am I missing here? I gave him a little bit of leeway for the Fred Flintstone joke. I thought that was pretty funny and accurate. And then he went way, way off the rails. Way off the rails with the Mo Bamba trade.
The way he sounded, he probably wanted to give him an unprotected first, too.
Oh, my goodness. Jeez. Call him nonsense, man. There's no way. There's no way, man. Somebody had to put him up to that. That had to have been comedic relief.
He left it for last.
Yeah.
His last point.
Yeah. His last point.
I wanted to hear that because I'm like, the people that call and talk like that, you always want to ask them, all right, so what's the solution? Who do you want?
Right. What are you trying to do?
I wanted to ask him, but I wanted to let him cook. But as he was coming in here, going in on RJ, going in on Obi, going in on Randall, I'm like, all right, so who do you want? Let me see what this guy's mind is at. Let me see what type of, thinking he's doing, what type of problem solving he's doing. And after all that, bro, first of all, you went over the shot clock. We had 3 turnovers on the show already.
Yeah.
And you do all that. We gave you the stage.
I gave him overtime. He was supposed to go rapid fire. I
Grammys
gave him
was
overtime.
just the other night, man. And we gave you the stage, and you come up here to say Mo Bamba.
He said for iHeart, Obi, 48 and a pick.
A first rounder too.
Yeah, and a first round pick. Nah, man, that was there's no way.
Bro.
There's no way. And then he tried to leave with a nickname. No, sir. No, sir, that's not how it's gonna work here. Not on this show. We're not calling you nothing. You can't make it up, man. Renum spoons, as my guy Janelle Holmes. That is, Mo Bamba is the equivalent of Renum spoons for my Martin fans out there. Renum spoons. Where Martin wanted to just yoke Cole up every time. That's Renum spoons.
Hey, he's that much of a difference maker to y'all?
Golly, man. I can't believe it, man. I can't believe it.
Man, let's get Mitch back in.
Please, Block This if you're listening. We need you back, man. Please. This is the new Renum spoons, man. What is going on Earth? Oh, boy. Let's get Cody Glock back in there. Cody, I hope you got something better, man. You got to redeem this.
Yeah, my bad, CP.
Yeah.
You can hear me now,
Loud
man?
and clear, man. Perfect. You're coming in perfectly, bro.
All right, cool. Yo, JD got me weak over here talking about it sounds like he wanted to trade for unprotected first pick. That was bad fun.
That's right.
All right, let me just get this out the way. Shout out Manscaped. You already know what I do with Manscaped. Yeah. I don't got to say it. All right, look. So, RJ first half, I usually come and rip RJ, His first half was terrible on defense.
Correct.
We all know this. He got to get better at that.
Mm-hmm.
But he made up for it, fourth quarter action. He's only 22. That other caller the other time, he kind of put things in perspective for me. Mm-hmm. I'm not off the RJ high. That was a 5-star call, last caller. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you remember it. But at the same time, man, Alex Caruso, OG Anunoby, they looking good, man. Because he played like butt, let's just call it what it is, for the first half. And it set up the table, the trade deadline. Caruso, man, off the bench, that's beautiful. I think that's beautiful, man. I don't know. But another last point before I go rapid fire, Jericho Sims, he came out of that Metal Gear Solid box, and he was shooting pretty nicely. Yeah. We found him, and he's growing up before our eyes. I like it. Mitchie, let me tell you something about Mitchie, because I can't leave without talking about Mitchie. He's no Mitchie. Good loss, Mitchie. We're going to go Get Mitchie back. His finger is a little itchy. I don't know if you broke your hand before, but if your finger itches, it's a freaking pain. You can't get to it.
Okay.
He's going to come back. The Knicks is going to beat finish 40, 48. I give them. I'm confident. Rapid fire.
Let's go. Cody Glock. Couldn't have been worse than the last one. And Cody usually comes with a little bit of comedic relief.
It is interesting, though, because he said the package.
Yeah.
Russo and OG. That's interesting.
Yeah, well, we're not getting OG because according to Jake Fisher of Yahoo Sports, neither the Knicks or the Nets are aggressively after one OG Anunoby. So, anything's possible, but doesn't seem like the Knicks are entertaining that. We haven't heard much on the Caruso front. We've heard that Levine is not on the block. Milwaukee Bucks are interested in Derrick Rose. On the Cam front, we have heard, according to Ian Begley, the Nuggets are interested, and maybe the Pistons are interested. So, hey, could a Cam and Sadiq Bey swap work in some sort of machination? Who knows?
So Mark Stein reported that the Milwaukee Bucks are interested in Derrick Rose.
Yep.
So, I think that, the OG, like those type of guys, you typically hear the reports, you hear the rumors, but when you're looking at Caruso, you look at that tier, I think it's going to be hard to get a rumor out of those role players. It's just going to come down to the deadline, and you're just going to look, you're going to get the alert, and
whoa.
Boom, it happened.
Whoa, yeah.
So that's how I expect the Knicks move to be. I don't expect a rumor to lead to continuous report because the Knicks keep it tight. I think it's going to be you get the alert, Knicks made the move, you're like, oh, okay. And I think that's how it's going to go down. And as far as the OG, if it doesn't turn around and this is not a leverage play by Leon, you saw what he did with Danny Ainge where they had the ultimatums. If this doesn't happen by this time, I'm moving on. Maybe that's what Leon did. Maybe Leon said, listen, I'm not dragging this to Thursday. If you're not switching your position on OG by this time on Tuesday or Monday, then we're out.
Yeah.
Because he did that with the Utah Jazz, it seems like. So unless he's doing that to kind of tell Masai, you need to chill because not that many teams are interested in him, then we're probably going to be out on OG too. So now comes the question of what else is out there that the Knicks would want to bring in that's going to be so much better than what you have. In other words, all right, Caruso. Is Caruso so much better than Deuce McBride that you want to bring Caruso to take Deuce McBride's minutes?
In the playoffs, yes. In the playoffs, yes. When it
that's
matters,
your focus,
say yes. I would say yes.
Yes, if that's your focus, yes. Yeah. But, if your focus is let's just keep with the young guys and let them gain experience, then maybe not. So that's what I'm saying. It's just interesting to see with these 2 wins, with what happened with Kyrie Irving, what mindset does this front office has at this very moment that they feel that they're going to have to make some type of move, or if they're just going to rock with the team they have right now.
Yeah, it's a fair point.
What do you want to happen? What do you want to happen?
You don't
have to say who. Do you want them to do something?
They don't have to do anything, honestly, because unless it's a home run, you're getting nominal gains. Like I would have liked the OG trade. He's 25 years old, a good contract, a good two-way player, all of the benefits. We've said it 1,000 times of how he can help this team. 25 years old. I would look at Bey. I don't know how motivated Detroit is for him or what they want. We haven't really heard about what they would want for a Sadiq Bey, right? Ian Begley, he's just putting 2 and 2 together, saying if Detroit is interested in Cam, could the two teams be talking Cam for a Bey swap? But we haven't heard whether it's Begley, Jake Fisher, Stein. Well, I don't, or unless I'm wrong, unless you have, but we haven't really heard even in any rumors on what Detroit may want for Sadiq Bey, right? But if he is out there, I would look at that. I would look at the Vanderbilt Beasley package if that's available. But with dealing with Ainge, what's the price, and is it worth it? Is it worth it?
What if the Nets woke up 1 hour before the deadline? You know what? They're saying, you know what? Forget this. Leon, give me all your picks and everyone for KD. You doing it?
Yeah.
Damn, really?
Who's everyone? Who's everyone? Who's everyone? I got it. Who's everyone?
We want Obi. We want RJ.
Okay.
We want Quickly.
Sure.
And we want 4 first-round picks. All unprotected. Man, and give me one of those 3 protected too. We want 5 picks, Obi, RJ, Quickly. And you get KD and the opportunity to potentially even go to the NBA Finals this year.
Yeah. I do it. You talking about 4 years sacrifice? And you're talking about having KD in his he's not in his prime anymore, but he's still at the top of his game for 4 years. Yeah, I'd do it. For 4 years, I'd do it. That's the closest you will ever come to being a contender right now.
Then if that's the case,
it's the closest they'd even come to being a contender over the next 4 years.
You know why I asked that? Because it won't be KD. But if the Knicks front office feels the same way, in terms of we're one guy away from being the closest we're ever going to do it, maybe this is why they're just so hesitant to make a move and give up a first-round pick.
Right.
Because it seems like they'll make a move if it's a second-round pick. They'll make a move if it's an end-of-the-bench player. But once you start going up the ladder, you start asking for the Quicklies and the Obis and first-round picks. It just seems like they have happy feet. And I think if they feel that, we're just one guy away, let's just keep all this stuff. When we get to that point, it'll just be much easier to make the move. Maybe that's why it might be a quiet deadline for them, and they may look into the offseason to make a move. Because
I think so.
I do think, just like it happened with Mitchell, I do think that after this deadline, you watch the playoffs, however the playoffs transpires for said teams may dictate what that franchise does moving forward. Remember what Woj reported? Woj says, although it's unlikely that Kevin Durant's going to get traded, as early as today, the Nets were having discussions about how to move forward. They don't even know what to do no more. They're trying to, do we blow it up now or do we keep him? And I think the only reason they're going to keep him is I don't think you have enough time to even process what to do because of the Kyrie thing. So Kevin Durant might be an off season. And because of that, you don't know what could happen in Phoenix. Who knows what's going to happen in Dallas? The Knicks may say, let's just wait one more offseason. Somebody's going to become available, and that'll be our opportunity to pounce.
And I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. You know, why part with it? You certainly don't want to give up your unprotected this year because you never know which way the season could turn. The Dallas pick, maybe, because of the Kyrie acquisition, you feel like they're going to continue to improve with him. They're a better team. We'll see. So that's even a little bit tricky, right? Right now, that pick is around 19, 20. But, I mean, if you're not getting a guy like a promising wing like an Anunoby or even a Bay, then you're looking at, veterans. I do. They say that Josh Richardson, they're looking for an expiring contract and a second-round pick. I do that. That's light work. That's a light trade. Improve your bench. I would do that. But it just doesn't seem like there's many candidates out there just yet. So we'll have to wait and see, man. 2 more days to the trade deadline. Tomorrow I will be double duty with SNY, man. On the putback with Ian Begley, 1 o'clock on SNY, and then in studio with Ian Begley at 11 p.m. So double duty on that one. Make sure you guys tap in. Make sure you support as we approach the trade deadline, man. Let's take a look at this game, Knicks versus Magic. JD, by the numbers, man. By the numbers, presented by Prize Picks. And boy, oh boy, man, it was a lackluster first half shooting-wise by the Knicks. Only 40 points. I believe they said this was their lowest half scoring in the half in all season. Had to be, right? 40 points. I mean, that was pretty dreadful for them. Going through this, one of the key stats I was looking at was points in the paint, because the Magic are number 7 in the league in terms of points, in terms of opponents' points in the paint, And the Knicks are number 12 in the league in points in the paint. Knicks scoring 52 points in the paint on average. Magic giving up 48 points in the paint on average. Knicks only scoring 36 points. And as you watch in this game, you kind of saw how the Magic's size and their wingspan was bothering the Knicks. A lot of times the Knicks would make forays into the paint and kick it out. They would make forays into the paint and kick it out. They were kind of apprehensive, especially in the first half, to really attack the Magic when they had guys like Wendell Carter, when they had Wagner, when they had Bol, those guys in the paint. Knicks were always trying to kick that out. They weren't really trying to attack the basket as much. And they only had 36 points in the paint. Other stats to look at tonight. Turnovers didn't really kill the Knicks. Only 11 turnovers. Gave up 11 points off of turnovers there. Both teams were fairly even on the rebounding battle. Knicks winning that by 2. Knicks 68% from the charity stripe. Continue to be woeful from the free throw line. Who knows why? And they did improve a little bit from 3, shooting close to 35%, shooting close to league average from 3 at 35%. So those are some of the stats that stuck out for me tonight. What'd you think about the stats tonight?
I think the Knicks might have gotten a little lucky that the Orlando Magic are 26th in the NBA in 3-point attempts. You talk about the future of that team. They either need to change a little bit of philosophy, or they need to add some 3-point shooters to their personnel, because only shooting 33s per game, and tonight they shot 25. So they went even lower than their season average. And you look at the Knicks only shooting a little bit better from a percentage standpoint, but they shot 43 threes to the Magic 25. That right there to me is your game. When you're talking about a league that, teams are just, you got to hoist the 3-point ball to win a lot of these basketball games. So I think that was a big disparity there that I think led to the Knicks winning the game, making 15 over the Magic 6 3-pointers, and then the free throw percentage. We see it plenty of times throughout the game. It's very frustrating when some of these players are missing some of these free throws, because again, we're going to start to shift our mind into a little bit of playoff basketball as we hit the stretch run. We want to start to get better in some of these areas, because this is going to come back to haunt you in the stretch run and in the playoffs if you don't start hitting free throws. That's going to be one of the key stats for the Knicks in terms of if they want to make a run this year.
True indeed, man. And tonight's By the Numbers, the key stats of the night, is brought to you guys by Prize Picks. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy. And for you first-time players, for you guys in the chat, go to prizepicks.com and use our promo code KFTV, and they will match your deposit of up to $100. So if you want to play with $50, they'll match you $50. You have $100 to play with. If you want to play with $20, they match you $20. You have $40 to play with, so on and so forth, up to $100. And how you play Prize Picks, it's very easy. You're going to select between 2 to 6 players, and you're going to predict whether or not those players will do more or less than the given stat projection that Prize Picks has on that given night. And as I've been telling you guys, they do a lot of promotional deals. Right now for the Super Bowl, you can play the Patrick Mahomes 0.5 passing yards prop between now and the Super Bowl, up to $25 in a bet. So you can play that. Obviously, he's going to do more than that, so that's a gimme. On Tuesdays, they have their Taco Tuesday deal of the night, and tonight, it was Jalen Brunson with 21.5 points. And so, obviously, I took that one, JD, and I was able to cash in. I did Jalen Brunson with more than 21.5 points. He had 10 points in the fourth quarter, on his way to 25 points. It got a little hectic. He was hovering around that 21 late into the game, but he got it at the free throw line, and so he was able to convert. Now, as I told you early in the show, I saw RJ coming back in this game. I saw Franz Wagner on the board, and I said, take more. I went with Franz Wagner with more than 18.5 points, and if he would have hit that one three, which is kind of ill-advised, it was very early, like 30-something seconds left in the game, and, right off the inbounds, he chucks a turnaround 3 Well, if he would have had that 3, I would have had hit that number. Fortunately for the Knicks, he didn't hit it. So he only finished with 18 points. So I just missed that one. I picked 6 players tonight. I missed on the Franz pick, but I hit on these. Julius Randle, more than 2.5 threes. Julius finished with 3. I also went with Devin Booker. Suns taking on the Nets. I went with Devin Booker with more than 1.5 threes. He finished with 2. And I went with Jonas Valanciunas with more than 9.5 rebounds. I thought that number was very low, especially against a Hawks team that he's been dominating on the glass. He finished with 12, so I hit that. Then I went with Jamal Murray with more than 24.5 points, and he did not play tonight. So unfortunately, I think I'll get credited for that one, but I went for 6. I did a $20 bet to win $500, and I just missed Franz, and Jamal Murray screwed me, man. So it was a clunky night. I was looking good. You know, Taco Tuesday hit on Jalen Brunson, Julius, Devin Booker, Jonas Valanciunas, but Franz and Jamal Murray didn't play. Late scratch, I guess, man. Tough one. Absolutely tough one, man.
You know who you should have gotten tonight?
Who's that?
And it's just giving me nightmares, man. Everybody wants to talk, he's an inconsistent player, blah, blah, blah. He's a superstar. He's putting it together. Cam
Thomas, right?
Cam Thomas.
Cam Thomas, man.
Bro, he had another 40-piece.
Cam Thomas.
He's the youngest player in NBA history to score 40 points in 3 straight games. 44, 5, and 5. 47, 4, and 3. And tonight, 43, 5, and 3.
Damn.
Man. You know, it's funny what a consistent opportunity could do for a player.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man. Jamal Murray against Minnesota, I thought that was as good as gold. And the Nuggets are completely wiping the floor with the Timberwolves right now. So he might not even gotten it because of a blowout factor. But Nuggets are up 122-87 on the Timberwolves. So actually, it's probably good that I didn't take
LeBron
more.
doing?
Yeah, you know what? I was going to put the King in there. He's 16 points away from history. And that game is in the second quarter.
Yeah, 20 already.
Yeah, he star-studded affair. He's got his family there. He just got a fresh shape up, fresh haircut. You got a lot of stars in the building. Kareem's in the building. D-Wade's there. LL Cool J, Denzel. So star-studded affair,
high school teammates.
High school teammates.
SGA with those swimming boots.
With the Simpsons for shoes.
Jesus.
I don't know what those were, boy, but interesting nevertheless. Interesting taste that this young generation has, man. All right, so let's get back to the phones and wrap up. Let's go to Benji from Benji from Manhattan. Benji, how you feeling?
What's up, guys? What's up, CP? What's up, JD?
Good, man.
So I'm thrilled that we got the win tonight.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was a pretty ugly game. Sims was key down the stretch, obviously, as was Brunson, and I thought JB actually hit some threes earlier in the game when we were so sluggish out of the gate, down like 10 or 12, some key threes to kind of keep the game in check. Now, I didn't get to call in on Sunday, but I got to, as president of the Evan Hive, remind y'all that he saved us in a big spot there.
He's going backwards.
Key is, I'm going backwards, but with good reason, right? Because Evan showed you what he can do. So I was just discussing with Edgar before I got on. You're going to honestly, and JD, this is honestly more for you, you're going to objectively tell me that tonight we couldn't have used Evan Fournier. Everybody was planking shots. RJ was bricking shots. You're going to tell me in Orlando, where Evan starred for 7 seasons, or he couldn't have gotten a chance to play tonight, even for 15 minutes.
Well, no, what I'm going to tell you is, as he told you, this is a one-night stand. Don't get used to it. I'm out of here. He might be out of here by Thursday.
Right. But the only reason he didn't play is because there's an arbitrary number attached to how many people play in the rotation.
Yes.
No other reason.
Yes, I agree with that. You're right.
So that's the only thing I was. So it's all good. We got the win, so I'm happy. Obviously, right? Just get the win. Who cares? Stack the wins. But I mean, it's kind of foolish. But either way, be curious to see what we do on Thursday. I've said it before, but I kind of rather do a margins move like a Sadiq Bey. OG Anunoby isn't even playing. He's injured. I don't have any details on his injury, but he's missed the last like 5 or 6 games. So why are we going to go trade all these assets for him? I don't know. I don't think we need help right now if we're going to get help. So let's get Sadiq Bey. Let's get Cam out of here. Let's send Derek off to write his final chapter. Let's consolidate this roster. And I'm in the building Saturday. I don't know if you guys are there, but I'll see you hopefully for the Utah game. Obviously Sunday's game was pivotal because the key here, what I always worry about in the season is like having the season spiral out of control, right? You have a bad loss and then follow it up with more losses. So Sunday was like really just such a surreal win. Yeah. So really proud of their effort there. And rapid fire, have a good night. Enjoy the show. Let's get a win on Friday in Philly.
Appreciate it, man. Good call, man. Good call. And let's wrap it up with Tom from Huntington. Tom, how you feeling, man?
Gentlemen, fantastic work as always.
Appreciate it, man.
Shout out to both of you, everyone in the chat. Shout out to Prize Picks. Shout out to Manscaped, the Manscaped body wash, which, changed my life. As far as the game, I fell asleep 3 times. I don't even know what happened between the second and third quarter, but I'm glad we won, number one.
Yeah.
Some of these callers with the rapid fire kill me. Not the one who just called, but I like the ones that have 17 points, and they say, CP, here's this point, and finally this point, but then I have another point, and then 17 more points. It's like,
we need you
guys,
to write the manuscript,
rapid fire. These 2 guys have been working hard. You got Edgar struggling over there. Come on, people want to go home. Let's wrap it up with the rapid fire.
Let's go.
And last thing I'm going to say, because me, rapid fire king.
Yeah.
I have a counter offer for that guy who wants Mo Bamba.
Yeah.
I'll give you a second round pick. 1 Manscaped device, 1 Manscaped body wash, an Austin Rivers signed poster, and that's it. All right, take it or leave it. You guys have a wonderful evening. Thank you for everything. We'll talk soon.
My guy, Tom from Huntington, man. That's how it's done, man.
He's the king of rapid fire, that's for sure.
He is the king of rapid fire, man. And speaking of which, we're going to rapid fire tonight's show because I'm tired. So that's how that's going to go. Yeah, man. It's been pushing out a lot of content, man. Recording a lot of content. Had a great interview today. Shout out my guy, David Burrell. We're going to drop that interview later this week. David Burrell, man. One half of one of the hottest music producers right now in the industry, man. Take a day trip. They've done some work. They produced a lot of Lil Nas X's tracks, a lot of tracks with Travis Scott, Kid Cudi. Done some work with Kanye as well, man. These 2 kids came up in NYU, have been taking the music industry by storm. Diehard Knicks fan too, man. So we were able to chop it up and got a great conversation in. So that interview will be dropping later this week. We'll put the Bleacher Report stuff out later this week as well, whenever we get it. Check out the Q Rich interview as well. The Q Rich interview talking about the Knicks, the Magic. We talk LeBron. We talk Kyrie trade deadline stuff. Check that out as well. And shout out to Rhyme Animal Chuck D, man. Make sure you check out the Chuck D interview as well, man.
We've been back to back with it. Saturday's game, Sunday's game, weekly Monday. Today, Chuck D, Quentin Richardson, Bleacher Report, SNY. I mean, woo.
It's going, man. It's going. So I'm gonna take it easy. I'm gonna watch the King. I hope he breaks the record, and we'll catch back up tomorrow, man. But great show, everybody. Let me read the super chats and make sure I did not miss anything. Let me read the super chats. Let's get those likes up. Share this video too, please. Share this video and subscribe to the channel. Shout out to all of our new channel members. Shout out to Khalil from Brooklyn, $10 super chat. Says every time anyone including Knicks fans, put a ceiling on JB, he proves them wrong. 25 points, 5 dimes on 69, 50, 80 shooting against a team with size and length. Is it possible for him to reach all NBA level? Hey, maybe second team. Who knows?
Kevin Durant's out. Maybe he'll make that All-Star game.
Yeah, maybe he'll get there. Shout out Janelle Holmes. He says, keep doing your thing, CP and JD. Good stuff. Go Knicks. Andrew Chavaria says, CP and JD, you guys think KD would make us a legit contender considering we would have to give up for him? I don't think so. Not at all. Listen, I think we'd be a lot closer than we are right now. But that's never going to happen. These two teams are never going to trade for with each other. Shout out to Kenton, Javier Salgado, appreciate it. Michael Rodriguez, $10 Super Chats. It's good win by the Knicks. They are now 21-0 when holding their opponents to 108 points or less. Real stat. You can look it up. Hoping for another victory against Philly next game. Shout out to Janelle Phillips again. He says, JD dropping megaton bombs out here, missing everything about Mitch except his free throws. Maurice Blanding says, CP and JD, would you do this trade? Tim Hardaway Jr., Dwight Powell, and Christian Wood for Hartenstein, Evan, and D Rose straight up. You want me to say it again?
Yeah, say it again.
Tim Hardaway Jr., Dwight Powell, Christian Wood for Fournier, Hartenstein, and D Rose straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course I do that. Dallas would never do that. Mike Jones, who? He says RJ came clutch in the fourth, however, is the odd man out once again with a -9. Yeah, very wacky game for RJ, but he is he bounced back strong. King Matthews in the chat says, are we going to be live for the trade deadline? Absolutely. So let me just run this down once again. Tomorrow, Wednesday, I will be 1 o'clock on SNY YouTube, so you can check that out. 11 p.m. Eastern time for those of you local to the New York area. I'll be on SNY with Ian Begley. Once that episode drops, we'll put that on the YouTube for everybody else to watch. Thursday at 3 o'clock, we'll be on SNY YouTube. And then at 4 o'clock, we'll be on KnicksFanTV. So we will be here for the trade deadline. Trust and believe we will be on. So make sure you keep it locked to KnicksFanTV, man. Like I said, we have a ton of content already out and a ton on the way. So make sure you keep your notifications up and tap in. And yeah, man, go to manscaped.com, promo code KFTV, 20% off plus free shipping. PrizePicks.com, promo code KFTV for an instant deposit match of up to $100. JD, great show. See you Friday.
Nice meeting you, Cam. It was nice knowing you, buddy.
Let's go. Peace, bro.